Yeah. So can you introduce yourself and what your role is in the library?
My name is John Burton. I've got a master degree in education and grad degree in education. And I worked in the Camden-Carroll Library since October 26, 1998. And I've worked with a lot of professors, a lot of students here in the Camden-Carroll Library at Morehead State University. The students would come in, the teacher would send me a paragraph all those years of what they want to teach and what books we need to get out so the students can use them to do their teaching of a certain, maybe a topic or a subject. And been doing that type of teaching for the past at least 25 years, because when I first got hired in, I operated the circulation desk for probably a year and a half, 2 years. And Morehead State University has been a specialty library, a good place to work. And teachers still come in. They still send me the paragraphs of what they want for their classes, and they actually bring their students in so they too can go to the shelves and get materials off the shelves that they need to use for their teaching unit plan or just a teacher plan or whatever the subject matter academically may be.
So do you work with the LRC materials?
I do. The Learning Resource Center materials, it houses materials from preschool all the way through the vocational level. If there's any book that you'd want the library over the LRC to order, we can have that done. You can request a book to be ordered that you need for class, or just your personal use, just to read it.
How long have you been doing that?
Been doing it ever since I've been here, for the past at least 25 years. And before that, they didn't do a whole lot with the LRC materials, but when I went over there, got the job, that's when we started doing that teaching and stuff that way, and get the materials off the shelves that they need that otherwise may never had been moved. So we get in-house usage on them, on the materials. That is, if they haven't been checked out, but they have been used in the library, it gives us another report other than circulation.
How have the LRC changed since you first been here?
Well, the LRC has really hasn't changed a lot because of materials. We just upgraded materials and books and puppets and stuff like that for the teaching process. But even years ago, we had book request or puppet request or whatever, a teach aid, and everything changes a little bit, and everything gets better.
So what was the library like when you first started working here?
The library, when I first started working here, they wasn't no databases that I know about. If they were very limited. They did have videotapes, to teach with them. Then we went to DVD. Audio tapes were here, but they're all gone. And I guess the big change is the internet, where the materials like books, e-books, stuff like that, and databases went online. And it might have hurt the library a little bit, but I don't think overall it didn't, because they are a lot of people out there, educators, community users, still like to have the books in their hands.
What was it like adjusting more to the internet with libraries?
Well, for me, going to the internet, I kind of like that. I kind of like the e-books and whatever other resources they got out there, databases, films, on demand. All of that is good, but I like the traditional way with the way of the internet. Because I think both are still great.
Do you think how much online libraries have been, do you think that takes away from what libraries are meant for?
I'm going to say that it probably does, but it still is great to have both. And libraries were meant to have books in them, where people come and check them out, circulate them, whatever. But like I said before, it's great to have online, and it's great to have in-house.
So there's a lot of construction going on right now in the libraries. And I've seen you, before they even started working on the second floor, you bringing up shelves to the fourth floor. Can you talk a little about, how you're helping out with that?
Well, we have the second floor done. We got all the shelvings out. And there was, I guess, thousands of books on the second floor, which there's no books at all there now. And we actually sold those books through the government auction. And some of those books went to Atlanta, Georgia. And some of them went right here in Morehead. But that is a big loss to the second floor with all the books. There's no books there now. And it took, I think it took us 4 months just to do the second floor. Take the shelving down, get the books off the shelf, and get them sold. It took a little over 4 months. We had moved the LRC to the second floor, the Learning Resource Center, and then we moved it again up on the same second floor. We actually moved it just out from where it was at the beginning up there, and we moved it from the first floor to the second. But now, LRC's back on the first floor, probably due to renovation. But I'd say you'll see a big change on the second floor, but we yet don't know what that change is going to be.
So where has the LRC been since you, where has they housed it while you've been here?
The LRC was mostly housed on this floor, the first floor of the library. And it was housed down here, I guess, for the past 25 years. And then after that, we moved it, like I said, to the second floor, because they had another purpose for the LRC area on the first floor, but must not have worked out, because I don't know what they're really doing with it. I didn't see a whole lot going on at that time. But since LRC come back, there's a lot of students and professors that do come in and use it.
So what do you think the future of our library will look like?
Well, right now, I guess we're in the future. It's not going to look like a lot of books like it used to look like, because it would cost a lot of money to get the amount of books that were discarded and sold, so that'll never be again. I don't think them shelves ever be full of books again. So it's going to look a lot different probably in the future than it does today. But a student come in and asked me the other day, said, "Where's the books that were on the second floor?" I said, "Well, they're here no more. That's all I can say. They're just not here." And the third floor is going to be the same way. If you go up to the third floor, you'll see a lot of books being flagged right now and discarded. And there'll probably be thousands of those books gone as well. But they're still flagging them for discard right now.
Are we still getting more books coming in?
We're getting some books, but not very many. I guess if we go just beyond the search just a little bit, we can see some new books that are coming in. They could be around 300 books over there that they've ordered since they discarded. But I'd like to see a lot more come in, because they still need the books.
So do you have any fond memories with anybody, or just your experience here?
Yeah, I guess the fond memories is when we all got together and had a Halloween party or a Christmas party or a Spanish Day. of that nature. The events makes it exciting.
Do you have any more events? Because I've gone through scrapbooks and I've seen like.
You've
so
seen some
big-
good books or events, haven't you?
Yes.
But I don't remember an event recently, but they're trying to get the events to come back. I'd say the last event we had was probably like a little get together, a little eat out. It was probably a couple years ago, 3 years ago. It's been a while.
How different are the events from when you first started working here to now?
Well, the events actually dwindled away. They're very different because there's no events right now. Even they had Christmas parties, that's pretty well gone too. Because we used to send out a letter to the employees that retired, and they would come back every Christmas and join back in with us. But I'd say it's been 3 or 4 years since they've come here. But the events kind of went away too. But we're hoping they come back.
Do you know why they went away?
I guess some of it went away because of COVID virus. But the COVID virus is gone now. It's time to get the events going again, is my thoughts.
Do you have any other like fun memories that you think of back when you kind of reminisce?
Fun memories. I guess the fun memories would be that we had the books. And get the book and read it and share it with folks. I think that's a fun memory of a library. Just have the books on the shelves and stuff, the materials that are credible for usage.
Have you seen like the increased activity of students change over time for the library?
Yeah, years ago there used to be a lot of students come in because, like I said, there were no databases or anything like that. The internet wasn't like it is today, and you could see a decrease as the internet, e-books and everything come along. Yeah, it did decrease. But I notice right now, I do see students come in the library. Maybe it's for advising or whatever, and maybe they come in to study with a group of that nature. But yeah, they've been a big decrease over the years. But we hope we get that all back.
So there's study rooms that was on the second floor. Are students still able to use that with the construction going on?
I'm saying there's one of them they can't use because it's got shelving in there from the reading rooms. Old shelving. Mm-hmm. It's in one of those study rooms. And I'm going to say there's probably a big decrease of the study rooms up there right now as well. Because like you say, construction is going on. And we got some of the rooms closed off due to furniture and stuff we had to put in vacant places. But yeah, I think they got study rooms down there where they have the advising in 101, I think. But they are a decrease in study spaces for now. And I'm hoping all of them come back too.
So the library over time has changed from like how much of it is utilized as the library? So
I'd say. And it's changed because there's been a lot of stuff that's been discarded out of the library. It's like the LRC just got this little section over here, but the LRC used to be full of materials in that room and in this room too. So anytime you get rid of materials, you know you're going to have a decrease in the population of people that come and use the library.
So, kind of excited to ask this question.
Oh yeah?
So part of what makes the library is like the faculty that work there and what they bring for the students.
Uh-huh.
And you have your own little character creation. Can you talk about him a little bit?
Yeah, about 6 years ago, it was at probably 1 o'clock in the morning, I was drawing doodles. I guess I drew 50 or 60 of them about 1 o'clock in the morning. And I drawed one doodle, I guess, that stuck out in my mind. And I said, well, I'll see if I can take this doodle places. And his name is Firecracker Dan. And he's been the Camden-Carroll Library in this office until we moved him upstairs 6 years. And Firecracker Dan, I've got newspapers over there, and I got a lot more boxed up where he's been to different countries. I think he's been to 36 different countries now. And there's one of his books up there where I've written a book. And Dr. Hatfield had written me a poem, which I didn't know I was going to get, and I had it put in a newspaper too. So that's pretty good. I've written 20 books that's got Firecracker Dan's label on them. Amazon's got them, and Walmart's got some of them. And I know Barnes & Noble had some of them. And they're in different countries throughout the world, the books are. And all my books are poetry. And I've got a book coming out, 3 more coming out now. One's called Blackbird Mountain. If you go to Firecracker Dan Land on the internet, I've got probably over 100 stories up there that you could listen to, don't cost you nothing. But Blackbird Mountain is a series of stories I have up there too, and nobody knows where the Blackbird Mountain is. And some people, they email me, said they're going to find it, whether I like it or not. And then, but that Blackbird Mountain up there, it tells you, there's a sign there, Beth Price had made the sign. She took the picture of the wooded area, but I don't even know where that picture was taken, or only Beth knows. And the sign says, there's no crime allowed up on the Blackbird Mountain. If you do crime, then Firecracker Dan's going to toss you over the cliff, but you're not going to die, you're not going to get hurt. You land on a big trampoline. You bounce up and down on that trampoline for 3 days and nights. But you got to grab your food off tree branches as you go up, your food and your water. After 3 days and nights, the bounce is over, and that person will never go or find the Blackbird Mountain again. But that's a book I've written. I already got it written. So that's a new book. And then I got a place in the mountain called Firecracker Dan Land. I have to work on it now because the storm blew the porch roof off Sunday, so I'll put it back up. It was a new porch, but somehow it got it. But Firecracker Dan is pretty famous at Morehead State University. There was 2 professors come up from UK. They heard about him and they'd like to have him down there. But they said they don't have nothing like that down there and the storylines that goes with it. But I said no. I started him out in this little office at LRC. I guess I'll just keep him here. But when I retire, then I've got to take Firecracker Dan with me to Firecracker Dan Land. And I'm looking at retirement, probably checking in out this week. But that's who he is, Firecracker Dan. If you ever want to see him, come to LRC, Camden-Carroll Library, 1st floor. You'll find him.
Do you think he's an integral part of the library?
I think he is. Because they got some of his stuff, special collection up there. Because he was assembled and made in Kentucky, in Pomerton, Kentucky, a place that kind of went off the map. But I brought him back on the map, and now he's known pretty well through many countries throughout the world. He's been to London, England. He's been to Paris, France. He's been to South Korea about 6 times. And they used him over there in a classroom to teach with him. You could take the picture of him, of the South Korea area, but you couldn't take pictures of students. But a student teacher from here took him to Japan to teach with him. So that was pretty neat. And then one of the books has got 3rd graders that they actually taught up in the mountains with Firecracker Dan in the summertime. And it's a big question. Everybody all asks me, like in Walmart or Kroger's, they say, who is Firecracker Dan? I said, I don't know. I said, won't you, I'll give me your email address, won't you send me a little paragraph and tell me who you want him to be? So I do have a book now called Voices of the People, who is Firecracker Dan. And and I put their paragraph in a poem format, and each one of them's got their name with their writing of who they want him to be. And but it's got the original firecracker down, the very doodle that I drawed out that night 6 years ago. But that's who he is. He's just a good character. Even a judge. He's a circuit judge now, and he's been on the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals. David Barber. He was sitting by me at Mountain Memories. I always want him to go to Mountain Memories in Frenchburg, Kentucky. And David had sent me an email after he sat with Firecracker down pretty close to him for 4 hours. But he sent him the best email he'd ever had. And he talks about Dan and how Dan, helps the ones that needs help and stuff like that. Because he thought it was amazing because we could talk to people that's been in trouble through his courts, and he just thought that was something. But he's a pretty important character.
Can you read any of his books here?
Yeah, I've got probably 14 of them back there under glass over there. And you've never got to see the books, have you?
I have to go look at them after this.
You'll have to look at them, just film that,
Yeah.
and just share that with this film here. Because they're under glass where you can look at them, just get all the characters and everything. So,
What do you feel like you achieved while you was here?
why do I feel like, why I'm
So, what do you feel like you like? What's your best accomplishment while you've been here?
my best accomplishment while I've been here is get to really do my job and help probably the professors and the students along, trying to help them with their educational needs. And I feel like I've done that through the last 25 years because when you keep coming to the LRC, that means we've done doing something right or have done something right. But the accomplishment is the students, the faculty, and the community users to assist and help them for what they need.
Do you have any final comments to add or you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just hope the LRC continues and get greater than what it is today. Because I know they say in Kentucky they've got a 10,000 teacher shortage. They need more teachers, and they need to educate more teachers where they can teach the students that they have to teach in this 21st century and teach them in the future. But that's what I need to see. I need to see the LRC to go forward with upgraded materials, which they do it all the time. And let's just let LRC go forward.
Do you think you'll miss it once you retire?
Said what?
Do you think you'll miss it once you retire?
Yeah, I probably will, but I do a lot of stuff anyway. I get into Firecracker Dan. I take him to events. When the Chamber of Commerce send me a letter, I go down there. That's pretty neat.
If you have any other comments to make, then
No, everything's fine. Just get the picture of the showcase back there,
yeah.
a little video of it, and I can tell you who those characters is if you want me to.
That'd be good, yeah.
Okay.